$250,000 people died in the Indian Ocean tsunami of December 2004. A great number of these lives could have been saved if only they received an early warning. The news of the oncoming disaster reached the centers of power soon enough, but the systems were simply not in place to get the word across to people directly at risk. When disasters strike, early warnings can save thousands of lives. This is true not just for tsunamis, but also for cyclones and floods, all of which science can now detect or anticipate. But knowing about an impending disaster is one thing. Warning everyone at risk quickly and effectively is quite another. Going that last mile is a big challenge. After the tsunami, researchers, telecom operators and civil society came together in Sri Lanka to try out different ways to cover that last mile.
I think the critically important thing we have to understand is that with rapid onset hazards, it's extremely important that the community, the village, the people who are affected, they are prepared to respond and that they respond appropriately.
This was an action research project by Learn Asia to find out how communities can use technology and training to safeguard against disasters. It was implemented by Sarvodaya, Sri Lanka's largest development organization, together with several other partners.
Actually, we played multiple roles in the project. At a community level, we were involved in selecting a suitable set of villages for this research project. And the project was carried out in villages which have been involved with Sarvodaya work for a long time. And then we implemented the project and we served as the interface to the community.
30 youth leaders from Sarvodaya's Peace Brigade received training in community-based disaster preparedness. They took this knowledge and training to 32 chosen villages. These communities then decided on the most effective ways for locally communicating a disaster warning they would receive. But where would that warning come from? At its headquarters in suburban Colombo, Sarvodaya set up a hazard information hub. Here they maintain close links with the government's disaster warning agencies and international sources. When the government issues a warning, the hub relays and amplifies it to the Sarvodaya network.
This is not in any way, shape or form a public warning system that lots of people talk about. So when you talk about a community-based warning system, you're not talking about reaching every member of the community. You're talking about a representative of the community, designated first responders.
The project tested 5 different communication technologies to reach these first responders reliably and effectively. Some of these, such as VSAT terminals and wireless fixed phones, are widely used. Others were designed or customized for this project. Java-enabled mobile phones were customized to carry text alerts in English, Sinhala and Tamil. Sri Lanka's leading operator, Dialog Telecom, designed a remote alarm device. This project was first to try out the addressable satellite radio, designed by World Space Corporation, a satellite operator.
If you don't have the technology, if you don't have the assurance And the trust that is built up over time, that the messages will be reliable, they will come rain or shine, they will come in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping, they will come in the middle of the day when my husband is not here, all those things. I mean, it's basically a trust relationship that has to be anchored by the technology.
It's like running a relay, from the hub to the first responders, and from them to the communities at risk. Speed and accuracy are of essence. To guarantee information delivery, at least 2 communication technologies must be used. And everybody should know and remember what to do when a critical moment arrives. This was achieved through awareness raising and simulations. The hub was ready to send out hazard alerts and warnings. The technologies were in place, and the communities were waiting.
Lanka ජාතික සර්වෝදය ආපදා කළමනාකරණ මධ්‍යස්ථානයෙන් කෙරෙන හදිසි දැනුම් දීමයි. මේ වන විට ඇතිවිය ඇති හදිසි ආපදා ප්‍රත්‍යක්ෂ පිළිබඳව අප වෙත තොරතුරු ලැබී ඇත. හැකි ඉක්මනින් හඳුනාගෙන ඇති ආරක්ෂක ස්ථානවලට ළඟා වීමට කටයුතු කරන මෙන් ඉල්ලා සිටින අතර අප විසින් කරනු ලබන හදිසි දැනුම් දීම පිළිබඳව විමසිල්ලෙන් සිටින ලෙස ඉල්ලා සිටිමු. ස්තුතියි.
Simulations were the real proof of the pudding. They generated a wealth of learning and dispelled many misconceptions.
பொதுமக்களுக்கு ஒரு முக்கிய அறிவித்தல் ஒன்று தற்போது கொழும்பிலிருந்து எங்களுக்கு ஒரு அறிவித்தல் ஒன்று கிடைத்திருக்கின்றது. இன்னும் அரை மணித்தியாலத்தின் பின்னால்
Basically, the technologies were tested, a combination of technologies, a mix of technologies, and we were able to identify at a community setting what are the technologies that were working in a given situation of a warning of a natural hazard. And secondly, also we learned there are so many social elements. One is the way the community behaves in a situation when a hazard alert is given, and also the collective behavior of the community and the knowledge that they had before the event is so vital. So on the whole, we were able to identify in very specific terms what are the technological, social and legal as well as other elements that are required to make a community warning system work.
This project followed Sarvodya's philosophy of village self-governance. The village Sarvodya societies organize the communities, conducted trials, and are in charge of the disaster response.
26/12/2004 ஏற்பட்ட சுனாமி அனர்த்தம் ஏற்பட்ட வேளையில் எங்களுக்கு இது போன்ற முன் அறிவித்தல்கள் கிடைத்திருந்தால் எங்கள் உயிர்களையும் உடைமைகளையும் நாங்கள் ඉලන්දිරික வேண்டிய අවශ්‍යම් ஏற்பட்டிருக்காது.
අපි හිතේ තිබිච්ච බයසකක් නැති වුණා. අපි මේ අවස්ථාවේදී මොකද්ද කරගන්න ඕන කියලා උංගක්ම දැනුවත් වුණා. නැත්නම් අපි උංගක් දුරට දාන්නේ නැහැ මොනවද කරන්න ඕන කියලා. முன்னே காலங்களில் இப்படியான ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சிகள் எங்களுக்கு இப்படியான கருவிகள் மூலமோ இல்லை வேறு வழிகளிலோ இயற்கை அனர்த்தம் ஒன்று இடம்பெற போகின்றது என்பதை தெரிவிப்பதற்கான வசதிகள் இருக்கவில்லை. எனவே இப்பொழுது சர்வோதயம் என்ற அமைப்பு இந்த வசதி எங்களுக்கு செய்து தந்திருக்கிறது. இந்த கிராமத்துக்கு இப்படியான கருவிகள் மூலம் எங்களுக்கு சமிச்சை வழங்கப்பட்டு 2 மணித்தியாலங்களுக்கு முன்னர் எங்களுக்கு அறிவித்தல் தரப்பட்டு அதற்கமைய நாங்கள் பாதுகாப்பு இடங்களுக்கு செல்ல வேண்டிய ஆயத்தங்களை செய்து பாதுகாப்பு இடங்களுக்கு செல்லலாம்.
For the research team, the project has led to some vitally important findings.
One is that you have to have technology that is reliable and that is trusted. That I think is extremely important. If people don't trust that, they will be running on misinformation and rumor. So that is one important thing. Give information that is reliable and trustworthy, that is not subject to misunderstanding. That is important.
After 18 months, the HasInfo project has identified the right combination of technology, training and community preparedness. The next step is to share these findings far and wide. Meanwhile, Sarvodaya plans to scale up the project.
Our main objective is to make the Sarvodaya villages disaster resilient. So these 15,000 villages someday should become fully disaster resilient.
But Sarvodaya sees itself mainly as a catalyst.
Ultimately, it's the community which is responsible for making the decision and doing the most effective work, and that was proven during the disaster we had, tsunami disaster, because the community response was the best response.